Welcome back. We're going to now look at doing histograms and MINITAB. So the files that I'm getting this from, if you go on Blackboard under the course resources and information, we're going into MINITAB examples. We've been in here before, but just showing you again. So I go in here and I go into the MINITAB examples, and again, we're doing histograms, so we're going to be looking at MINITAB 2 because that's the file that contains the commands for doing a histogram. And here's the data that goes with that particular command. So you click on there and we're going to download that MINITAB file. So we click here, we say download it, and we hope it to open up. So we click open. And we say yes, let's see that file. So this is the daily stock volume. Now let's go see what exactly is the problem about. We know that that's daily stock volume, but we need to find out what that goes to. So we go back into Blackboard, and we go into this file. It's a PDF file, and we're going to open up and see what this problem, what's involved in this problem. Well, this is the volume of stock, and it's going to explain what is the volume of stock. Well, it's just the number of shares that's traded. And in our particular data set, 4 means 4 million because these are in millions. So 3.78 represents 3,780,000 shares that are traded on a particular day. Now, we've got 35 trading days. So if you go back into MINITAB, you can look and see the different 35 days of trading in MINITAB. So in this first column, there's 35 trading days. So on day 32, 4,880,000 stocks were traded. So volume of stock was traded for the Altria group. So what we're going to do is make a histogram of those 35 days. So there's different ways that you can do it. We can go in here and we can actually copy and paste commands. So because the data, this is the commands for our particular data, you can literally just copy and paste this into MINITAB. And we're going to get the same exact histogram that we saw there. But the first thing, what do? We make sure we're in the sessions window, that this is dark blue, and we have to enable the commands, because if I copy and paste those commands, what's going to happen? Nothing. So I need to enable the commands, and I do Control-V, because I copied them, Control-V on your computer, pastes them. Now there's a little problem. MINITAB sees this first line. It says, oh, she wants to do a histogram, but I better stop because she's going to tell me a couple more things she wants me to do. She doesn't want my default. She's giving me some stuff. And I'm telling them to do a good title. So remember, our good titles in this class are distribution of, we write our variable, for, and a little more information. So distribution of volume of Altria group stock for 35 trading days. But there's a little problem here. MINITAB's not going to see a semicolon because it got wrapped around. It's not going to like that. So we need to get rid of that and put it where it belongs after trading. Paste it there. Now MINITAB will see this and say, oh, there's her second subcommand. She wants me to do a title. Then it's going to say, oh, she wants me to do a title on the horizontal axis, and here it is, volume of Altria stock, volume of, this is our variable, volume of Altria group stock, and the units it's in millions. And there's what's very important. We're going to learn about the cut point command in our next video, but this is the cut point command. Now this is particular to this particular data set. I'll show you how we get the cut point command, like I said, in the next installment. Right now, this will work perfect for our data here. So I hit enter, and there comes our histogram. Now your MINITAB homework assignment says, hey, we want to see a number at each of the cut points. The cut points are these lower class limits. So we're missing 3, 5, 7, 9, and 11. So how do we put those in? Well, we lightly touch our graph, left click on it, and we're going to say, hey, I want to do positions of the tick mark, and I'm going to put the numbers 3, 5, 7, 9, and 11 in there. Please make sure you put the space. I'll show you what happens if you don't, because your graph will look pretty quirky. So I put in 3, space 4, space 5, and so forth all the way to 11. I hit OK, and now I just have a nicely labeled graph. I've got my variable here and the units it's in, a wonderful title, and then knowing that it's a frequency distribution. Now, as I told you, let's go see what would happen if I had forgotten a space, what this would look like. If I hit OK and I had missed a space, look at what happens to my graph. It thinks that the last endpoint should be 1011. It didn't like that. So no problems. We just go back and you'll realize, oh, I did that. Did something wrong. And then you'll put the space in there. So don't worry. Mess around in here. You'll be fine. Okay? Now remember, we can go in here. We can add grid lines, which is always nice. If we add grid lines on the major y-axis, the major y-ticks, it helps people to read your graph. I always think that that is a very nice addition to your graph. So this is using the commands. Now what if you don't use the commands? Let's cancel that and just minimize it. Let's say that I don't want to use the commands, I want to use the drop-down commands. Well, you can do that too. So I can say histogram. I want a simple one. Hit OK. And then I go to daily stock volume, select it, and hit OK. And let me show you what happens to what MINITAB default is. You're going to have your tick marks in the center. We don't want that for continuous data. For continuous data, we need to have those cut points at the lower class limit. So I'm going to go in here, but that's easily done. I get in here where I want to edit my scale, and I go to binning again. This time I say I want it in cut points. Give it to me in cut points. And then let's look at here, and let's do the positions of our tick. And again, we can do our 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we're going to put those numbers in there. So I go in here. I'm going to change that to 3, 5, and so forth. And here's 11, and we hit OK. And there we have what looked like before, so we're very happy with that graph. The only things we have to change now are the title and our title for our horizontal axis. So we want to make this distribution of the volume of Altria group stock. Altria group stock for 35 trading days. Okay, so we've got that labeled nicely. And our daily stock volume, or volume of Altria stock, I can just copy and paste. No, I'm not messing with that. So, volume of Altria group stock, that's our variable, and let's let them know that it's in millions, so people know what our scale is for this graph. And we've got a beautiful graph, again, just from the drop-down commands. So, what's going to happen if you want to use this command, and how do we get the cut point command? Well, in our next video, that's what we're going to be going into. So please, make sure you get into MINITAB and you kind of touch different things, play around with your graph, change colors, do whatever you want, and have some fun with it. So we'll see you next time.